Hey everybody, Max here with another New World video. So just jumping straight into things, I wanted to go over my current solo watermark increase method. So this doesn't require a whole lot of prerequisites, but I will say it's nice to have some type of speed increase ability, also having medium to heavy armor with at least 9k plus HP, because there are some spots where you're going to inevitably get hit. I also like taking a set of mining gear, since there are plenty of opportunities to get orichalcum nodes if you have mining high enough. I also like to have decent food regen, health pots, and maybe even health regen pots available, along with some type of range attack, which I'll go into further explanation later. Now, I also like to have at least 10 wood and 2 flint to make at least 2 camps, which you just saw I was able to make one camp in the very beginning of the route, and then I'll make another one at about the halfway mark. So after we place our first camp, we simply just hug the wall and grab the first supply cache. As most of you know, you can never have enough crafting materials, so I always try to get these when I can. But the main priority is the elite chests for the watermark increase. Next up is this cave where you can get an elite supply chest by just jumping behind / on top of the chest. Usually I don't have an issue with this one, but sometimes a sniper can come in and shoot you and disrupt your pickup animation. But at some point they either retreat or just miss you, giving you enough time to loot and scoot. Then you just run along the path to get an ancient urn, a supply cache, eventually another ancient urn. There's a couple other little chests along the way if you want to prioritize those and kind of go out, but these are the general ones within the path to your next elite chest. From here, you just want to slowly drop off the side of the cliff to land next to the chest. If done properly, you won't even aggro the elite. This requires a little bit of finesse, and you'll kind of get used to it as you kind of experiment with it, but if anything, they'll knock you off the ledge, you reset, and you try again. On to the next spot, which I find to be quite annoying at times because of how you can grapple the edges and just randomly fall off. But if you just creep next to this guy, grab the supply cache, and then do exactly what I said you shouldn't, then you can start working to the next elite chest. Now for this one, you just jump into the corner, and the elite shouldn't mess with you. Worst case is he hits you and knocks you off the side, then you restart. But from there, you just pass another worker, get a supply crate, then off to the side for an ancient urn. Now to the other side we go, fumble to get up the rock, fall the ledge over, then you basically just drop right behind the chest and loot. Sometimes I take at least one hit before he resets, but then you have to hit the unstuck button to get out of the corner. Now on to setting our halfway camp and another more annoying portion of the run due to having to dodge snipers and lose threat. This is where having the movement speed buff for my bow comes in handy. Also, this next part is where I think having a ranged weapon is pretty vital. For this pull, it's definitely more of an exploit, as you'll see in just a second, but you shoot the far mob and then the boss demon, wait until he gets mostly up the path, then you drop down. Unfortunately, this other guy kind of messes up my normal pull, as I usually jump on the rock and wait for the 2 miners to retreat. That will give you just enough time to loot the chest, but because he aggroed the mobs, I just skipped that step and looted the chest anyways. Oh, and you definitely have to be careful for the demon that's coming back.
The magic man. Now you see me? Now you don't.
But continuing on the path, there will be some orichalcum ore along the way that you can mine, and another chest to get you to basically the next elite chest. So after this, you basically just grab this chest, then you kind of try to dodge this guy and jump up on these boxes. Wait for the boss to de-aggro. You can mine the orichalcum vein if you want. If sometimes it's not there, most of the times it actually isn't. I kind of got lucky. I think I got here early enough in the morning for this run, so I was able to actually get a lot of the nodes. And I was just beating this other guy to the spawn. As you can see, he just hopped up here. So now from here, I drop down just to de-aggro. I'm not trying to mess with it at all. I don't want any deaths. So I go to basically reset, and then I go up to get this other supply crate that's at the top of this little area before I move on. Now the next elite chest is probably the hardest in the whole entire run. I wouldn't even blame you if you just decided to skip it just to avoid a death or the headache that could come with it. But you will definitely want to be prepared to block and pot right away, because this guy hits like a truck. This requires a sweet spot behind the chest, and even after numerous runs, I still don't have it down 100%, but it's somewhere right between this rock and the chest, it seems, to where he can kind of de-aggro. Now that the difficult chest is out of the way, we can hit a few smaller ones along the path as we make our way to yet another easy find. Now for this one, all you do is jump behind him, start to loot, which kind of brings him in to aggro. Then the moment he retreats, finish looting it. As you can see, there's a lot of consistency within this whole entire route, and honestly, once you do it once or twice, it becomes super easy. It's just getting used to how the mobs react to the type of movement you incur and finding the spots that force them to retreat, giving you that perfect window to loot. And there are only 3 more elite chests, and then this route is complete. So almost to the finish line, just a little bit more. This area right here can be a little dicey because some of these spear guys have long attack range, and you're also in tight quarters. You'll just hit a few of these safe platforms along the way and be just fine. Now this chest right here is blocked by a vein, but I think you can probably maneuver around it if you don't have the mining level just yet. But if you do, it's a nice little bonus. At this point, I'm able to just get a few more veins along with a supply crate and the alchemy stockpile. Once again, this is just bonus loot added to this route, which can be quite nice. But alas, we have made it to the top and just need to tackle 2 more chests. This can be a little tricky the first time you do this, but it's all about forcing retreats and playing basically on the stack of stones. Now I do hit up a few more little crates as I drop down, but all in all, this is the method. This can really be knocked out in probably less than 20 minutes. Because I've been focusing most of my time on my professions, I haven't had much time to put towards my watermark, but I know that this method is an easy way to slowly raise things if done at least once a day. Keep in mind these elite chests are on a 24-hour timer, so make sure to stay on top of it. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you can use this method to help raise your gear score watermark. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, stay tuned for new content. Until then, catch you guys on the flippity flip.